You're listening to Catholic Chicago. Ahead, the Archdiocese of Chicago brings you programs about the people, events, and issues that touch our lives. Thanks for letting us be part of your morning. Now again, Catholic Chicago.
Hi, everybody. Good morning, and welcome to the Voice of Charity. I'm Phil Zepeda, here with my colleague, Katie Breedeman. Good morning, Katie.
Good morning, Phil.
And we hope this Tuesday is off to a great start for all of our listeners, everybody listening on WNDZ 750 AM in Chicago, and those watching our live stream on YouTube and Facebook at Catholic Chicago. So as we previously talked about on the Voice of Charity show, Catholic Charities has 16 WIC food centers that play a vital role in the lives of thousands of vulnerable families in Chicago. And as a reminder, WIC, W-I-C, stands for Women, Infants, and Children. And Catholic Charities opened our WIC food centers back in 1993 when the federal government and the Illinois Department of Human Services enlisted Catholic Charities to open these grocery stores to eliminate food stamp fraud and address child malnutrition concerns among young families in economically challenged neighborhoods.
And as soon as our WIC food centers opened, Phil, they played an important role in the revitalization of the neighborhoods in which they reside. And they've been making news again in recent months at Catholic Charities. In our fiscal year 2022, more than 51,000 low-income mothers and caregivers visited our WIC food centers from 19 counties in Illinois and our neighboring states. And this was a 90% increase from the previous year. We became one of our state's leading providers of formula during the national shortage last year.
So we're going to spend today's show learning more about WIC and the programs there. Here to talk more about these important food centers are our wonderful friends Shay Dixon, who is the Director of Operations for Catholic Charities WIC Centers, and Michael Harold, who is the Associate Vice President for Catholic Charities Child, Youth, and Families Impact Area. Shay and Michael, thank you so much for joining us. Good morning.
Absolutely. Good morning. Thank you so much for having us, Phil and Katie.
Absolutely.
Good morning.
Glad to be with you.
So it's not confusing. We'll do our best to direct our questions to each of you so you know who can answer. So Shay, let's start with you. Tell us right out of the gate, how does shopping work at each WIC center?
Sure. So WIC Grocery provides WIC participant access to high quality brand name WIC products and fresh fruits. Participants who have an electronic WIC benefit card have the opportunity to visit any of our 16 WIC food centers within the Chicagoland area to redeem their benefits for their families. We are 100% WIC approved stores. Each center has a focused philosophy of grow with us. Our parents have the opportunity and families have the opportunity to shop for their children from the infant stage to the toddler stage and above.
So I'm such a fan of everything that you do and that's coordinated in these food centers. What are the requirements for a mother to be eligible to shop at a WIC center?
Sure, Phil. So WIC Food and Nutrition Program is designed to serve low-income pregnant, breastfeeding, non-breastfeeding postpartum women, infant and children up to the age of 5 who are found to be at nutritional risk. Families interested in seeking services can visit our wicgrocery.org website, which will provide them with the nearby clinic in their area to allow them to sign up for benefits. We also have 6 co-located WIC clinics where clients can sign up for WIC benefits as well.
So thank you for that. Some of our listeners might be, wondering or curious. Okay, I know about food pantries, and now I'm hearing about WIC centers, perhaps for the first time. Talk to us about the difference. What's different that happen of the things that are happening or the services that are available in WIC centers from a food pantry.
Sure, Phil. So food pantries offer a large variety of emergency and commodity food packages for families seeking assistance. WIC is exclusive for families that meet income criteria who are at nutritional risk. WIC grocery shelves are stocked with infant formula, stage baby food, fresh fruits and vegetables. We have 100% fruit juice and a wide selection of whole grain bread, tortillas, and cereal. In addition, we also offer milk, both soy milk, lactate milk, cheese, yogurt, and eggs.
It's truly amazing on the variety and the wonderful nutrition of food that's offered in the centers. And it's great that this is operating for families at risk. Shay, is there a time limit on the length of engagement that a mother would have to engage with a WIC center?
Sure, Phil. So moms have the ability to participate in WIC from pregnancy all the way up until their child is 5 years old. So clients are more than welcome to reach out to any of their nearby WIC clinics to apply for this service. And of course, eligibility is based off income.
And our live stream has been showing some photos of our 16 WIC centers. They're such wonderfully clean, well-kept, well-stocked centers. And we've been to a number of them. And the staff there are so dedicated to their work. It's really quite inspiring to see. Michael, can you talk to us a little bit about our community partners that we work with to keep those stocked shelves?
Sure.
Those shelves stocked, I should say. Please go ahead.
Yeah, sure. As we said earlier, we carry name brand products, just as you'd see in any other retailer. And we purchase directly from manufacturer for the majority of those. So you'll see items like Goya, Juicy Juice, Post Brands, Kellogg's, Dairy Pure, Dutch Farms, Dole. And then for our fresh fruits, fruits and vegetables, which we usually bring in the centers multiple times a week, sometimes 5 days a week. Partners like Growing Home, which do some produce locally, Get Fresh and Fresh Start. Other manufacturers are Gerber, Beech Nut, and then for our formulas, Mead Johnson is our main supplier, and then also Ross Abbott products.
It must be quite a challenge to be monitoring the how full each store is and how much product is going out each week. How much do you plan in advance for something like that, Michael?
Yeah, so we usually plan out and we maintain about a 4-month supply of our dry good items. So we kind of look at volatility. It's one of the things we do every day. We look at what our redemption rate is for the stores, and also we look at what our inventories are in stock. Basically, with the produce, we're doing week-to-week orders based on what we're looking at the time frame from last year, because that kind of gives us an indication the last 3 months and then the last week for basing on what we should purchase and buy. And then we're also looking for future where we see redemptions. We do some forecasting on where we see things go up. We see seasonal increases. We see things wrapped around the time of the month. People are using benefits to benefits. Some people are using their SNAP benefits. And so we'll see in the beginning of the month, we may not see as redemption, but then as those SNAP benefits dwindle down for a family, then they pick up their WIC benefits. And at the end of the month, we see a higher surge in use.
And one of the things that we often talk about here on the Voice of Charity is the wonderful network of resources that the large Catholic Charities organization can provide to its clients. Can you talk about how these WIC centers not only provide wonderful groceries to low-income families, but also they become a hub of activity where these clients can get other resources, other support services. Can you talk a bit about that, please?
Sure, absolutely. Just like most of our Catholic Charities facilities, we want to be a one-stop shop to be able to service individuals and make their experience wonderful and bringing whatever needs they have to us so that we can help address them. So we have partners like at our 3110 Armitage site, a Birth to 5 site is co-located there. They assist families with educational opportunities with their children. During the pandemic, Farmers to Families, if you recall that, we did about $2.5 million worth of distribution of food items through our food centers. So that was, wow. In addition to our WIC families doing that benefit was open to anybody. So we were doing between 1 to 2 tractor trailers of food boxes every week distributed out of our food centers during that time. The American Heart Association has partnered with us, and we have some blood pressure monitors put into our sites, and they'll be moving around from time to time so that people can get assistance with blood pressure monitoring. And then we have various events. In April, we did an Easter event and did some co-sponsorship with some activities like Play Start, and had an Easter bunny there. We had about 350 people come in to those two locations. So we try to do different events throughout the year. We'll talk a little bit later about our cooking classes, but yeah, we try to do all kinds of events. We also have paternity establishment, which allows fathers to get their paternal rights by checking in with that, as well as mothers to get benefits from the fathers. So there's various items that we have in store, as well as we quickly refer out to other programs within the agency.
So, Michael, you mentioned that. You mentioned, cooking, and you're like, so talk to us about how WIC participants receive nutrition education, and that plays out in a lot of different ways, and one of them is cooking.
Absolutely. So we do find people are coming in, especially new mothers. They may not have had an experience cooking for their families. And, they may be a new young mom, and their mom cooked for them all the time. And so they don't have any experience with shopping, and they don't have any experience with cooking. So one of the things we do is we look at the items we have together, and we put together recipes. So what can I do with my benefits? It's easy to go, here, take these things, but then they look at it and say, well, what is this? I don't even know how to cook with brown rice, because it takes longer to cook. And then because they have difficulty, they struggle with it. So we have a couple different ways. We have in stores, we have what we call client service representatives, CSRs. And they go around to our various sites, and they kind of educate new moms with looking at the labels, the nutritional value that they're seeing in their items, as well as what they can do with them. So we have recipe cards that we give out. We have tasting demos to, try out new products or look at different new things. And then in the summers, we do cooking classes. One of the things that COVID gave to us was the opportunity to do them virtually. We used to do them all in the store, which was wonderful, but it limited the capacity, right? You could only have so many people sitting in a kitchen at one time. So being able to be creative and look outside the box. We partner with the University of Illinois Extension, and they put together a program where they do multiple cookings throughout a week or two to train them on how to use those items, how to cook. They did it 100% online. They would come into the store, they would pick up their food boxes, then they would go home, and then we do just like now, we do a virtual visit with them, and they would cook and learn how to use their products. So it was really wonderful.
I can't.
So we're going to do those as well.
I can't say enough. These recipes that you mentioned, they are good recipes. I have firsthand knowledge of a lemon herb chicken recipe that I came across from a previous career that I had in working in hunger relief. So what Michael mentions here, these are really great recipes to help make food more savory and more an enjoyable experience. Michael, talk to us a little bit about, before we throw it to break here, what happens if a mother or one of her children have a medical condition? Is that something that the WIC Center can also help address?
So we would address it in terms of, especially with formula. We're one of the major carriers of specialty formula in the state. Most general grocers will not carry specialty formula. They'll carry the items that they're going to sell, right? So a one-off specialty formula usually is not available. Even some pharmacies won't carry it because it's an item that will sit on their shelves. So we are really the main stock carrier in the state, especially in Chicago, of specialty unique formulas for moms. We do work hand in hand with the clinics. But if a mom has a specialty need, then the clinic partner, as Shay mentioned, not only are they the gate holder, but those 6 stores that are co-located with clinics, excuse me, we refer them over to them. They could talk to them about the special needs, and then they create the package. When we talk about this package that they get, it's like a prescription for health. So the items that are contained inside their WIC package are all about a healthy, nutritious thing. So if it's something the child's allergic to or the family's allergic to, that won't be on their benefit. And then they'll get different benefits to make sure that the items that they take with them will be great for themselves and for the family who will be using them.
That's fantastic, and you talk about that tailored touch, and that's a beautiful thing as you accompany participants in the program. Let's take a break right now. We'll come back after these short messages. We'll more with Shay and Michael in talking about the WIC Food Centers. You're listening to the Voice of Charity on Catholic Chicago.
Caring adults make all the difference in the lives of adolescents. Catholic Charities understands this, and our mentorship programs provide a free opportunity for young adults to spend time with volunteers who genuinely care about them. This program is ideal for youth aged 9 through 12 who may need support navigating the challenges of childhood and early adolescence. Our amazing volunteers serve as friends who help youth recognize their strengths and empower them to reach their full potential. Catholic Charities conducts a thorough background check on every volunteer, and our program coordinator closely monitors and supports every relationship. Mentoring is a fun after-school program that can help young adults build confidence and enjoy fun activities with their peers, too. To learn more, visit CatholicCharities.net or call 312-655-7970 in Cook County and 847-782-4224 in Lake County. We're connecting youth with great role models. Join us today.
I am a seminarian.
The Church needs compassionate and well-trained priests to help guide each of us through life.
What inspires me, what draws me always to the priesthood is continue to see priests be a beacon of hope for other people.
You can play a part in the education of these young men as they prepare for a life of service to others.
I want to be that beacon of hope too, and it sets my heart on fire.
To support our seminarians, make your gift at archchicago.org/seminarian fund or call 312-534-7959.
Do you have an old bicycle that's not being used? Consider donating it to Catholic Charities Veterans Bike Project of Lake County. Skilled volunteers are refurbishing bicycles to make them safe and ready to be used by veterans to get to and from their new places of work. We also gratefully accept financial contributions that are used to purchase bike helmets and other safety accessories. Our veterans have faithfully served the United States, and now it is our privilege to serve them. For more information on the Veterans Bike Project of Lake County, call 847-782-4219. That's 847-782-4219.
Welcome back to the Voice of Charity. I'm Phil Zapata. We are talking with our wonderful guests, Shay Dixon and Michael Harold of our WIC Food Centers at Catholic Charities. Michael, a little bit more about the different types of programs that are offered within the centers. And I think, you know, as you're looking to really holistically treat everyone that walks through the door, there's also opportunities for employment, I believe, that are also explored with participants in the WIC program. Can you talk a bit about that?
Sure. So with our wicgrocery.org, one of the other things that we have online there is a link to our Catholic Charities site, which allows them access to job openings within Catholic Charities. And then again, one of the wonderful benefits of the program with these 16 locations in economically distressed areas throughout the city is that we are always hiring as well. So a great number of our employees are employees within our communities that we serve. And so um, job opportunities for like retailers, job opportunities for people within our warehouse, for drivers, for pickers, for center managers, for assistant center managers. So we have that, just like any other retailer, a host of job opportunities for people to come in and apply for, not only with us, but then an extension to that is job opportunities within the agency itself.
So come on in.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And so you can look for those opportunities at wickgrocery.org or also CatholicCharities.net and learn more and about us and put careers in the search engine and learn more about our job opportunities at CatholicCharities.net. You know, Michael and Shay, we said it earlier in the show that last year Catholic Charities served more than 51,000 women and caregivers through the WIC stores, and that this was a 90% increase from the previous year. Can we ask you both to weigh in a little bit on what you attribute that significant increase to? Shay, may we start with you?
Sure. So I think program awareness is definitely one of our biggest attributes. Like you said, we had definitely an increase in clientele following the formula shortage. So this year alone, this fiscal year alone, so far we have served over 54,000 clients, and we're looking to help our families that are in need due to the economic challenges that are taking place, moms who are looking for food access, and to help them with food insecurity. Like Michael spoke about and you as well, last year alone, not only in the Chicagoland area, we were able to help over 138 families in 14 different counties and provide them with over 1,342 containers of emergency formula. So I think this really attributes to our ability to just help moms in need in our communities in the Chicagoland areas and surrounding areas.
So said so beautifully, Shay. And Michael, do you have anything to add to that? Like how is our infant formula supply doing now?
Yeah, so the system itself continues to struggle, especially with specialty formula. When you look at, there's two main manufacturers, Mead Johnson and Ross Abbott. And Ross Abbott, basically because of the issue within their major plant that produced many lines of formula, basically they were shut down. And so there just was not any formula to fill that gap. Mead Johnson then ramped up, but again, they already had their supply. You know, they forecast out as well. And so they had anticipated that the entire second half of the structure would fall off. And so it took a long time to rebuild. And just like with most manufacturers, they're going to manufacture the items they sell the most of. So what we see is the struggle with those specialty formulas. Because if you have to stop a line to start a new production line. And so they're going to focus on the items that they sell the most. And so some of those have struggled to get back up. We do see them getting back into retail, but we still see supply struggles. We'll do orders and we'll get half of it or we'll get a quarter of it. And it's not due to the fact that we're purchasing limited. As you said, at one time we were distributing more formula than Walmart in the state of Illinois.
Wow.
For several months.
That's so impressive.
And again, Walmart's selling to everybody, not just WIC participants. Right. So the fact that the volume was fantastic in our retail simply shows that we have a great supply line. We also have our own warehouse, which allows us to bulk and stock up and store. So that also allowed us to get through that hiccup in the supply chain distribution because we had store in place that helped us be ready for this event to happen.
That's a huge success story for Catholic Charities in fiscal year 2022, isn't it, Phil?
Truly. Shay, tell us a little bit about the Farmers Market Summer Program and how that works in tandem with WIC Food Centers.
Sure, Phil. So every year we have the Farmers Market Program, which operates between the months of July to September the 30th. It gives us the opportunity to allow our WIC moms and WIC families an additional fruits and vegetable resource in addition to their WIC benefits. So as they come in to redeem their WIC benefits, they have the opportunity to get additional box of fresh fruits and vegetables. And in addition to that, we provide nutritional recipes to go with those boxes. For an example, so we will provide them with some potatoes, maybe some vegetables, and then a recipe on how to make a potato salad. And so our moms have the opportunity to learn new ways to cook in addition to providing them with skill sets that they maybe have never been involved in. So we look forward to that season this year. And again, it'll run from July the 1st until September the 30th.
I'd love to hear from both of you. What's the feedback that you're hearing from WIC Center participants, from folks coming in? What are you hearing of them about the food choice, the selection, the recipes, the service? Any anecdote to share with us?
Sure. So many of our moms express gratitude and appreciation of the WIC grocery being substantially stocked with 100% WIC approved products. However, they also share the challenges that they may face when shopping in a retail grocery store. Right. As you know, the experience with us is a little different because we're 100% WIC approved. Their shopping experience is something that is really seamless. We're a one-stop shop. We also make sure that we provide them with wraparound services, which is a little different from their shopping experience with others.
That's great. Michael, what would you add?
Yeah, I would say our feedback is very important to us. So we do quarterly surveys to get their feedback about how their experience with and what they would like to see. We also have comment cards, and then they can also go to wicgrocery.org and put information in and let us know. So feedback is really important to us. I think what we hear from them is that it's a safe environment for them to shop in, especially in some of the neighborhoods that they're living in, that they find it clean, and that they find the significant variety of options available to them that they didn't expect. I think people, when they come in and they expect the old idea of government subsidy items being government cheese and these off brands that no one's ever heard of. And when they come in, they're surprised by the fact that every item they see is either in their retail or better than what they see in their local grocery.
So, Michael, here's kind of a curveball. What keeps you up at night? What's your greatest challenge?
So I would say my greatest challenge that keeps me up at night is obviously our supply chain issues. They continue to exist. We're past COVID to whatever extent that means, but it really has changed the dynamic of how we order and how we get supply in. You used to be able to do an order and you would be able to see it come in that week or the next week, the truckload. Now it's 2 or 3 weeks. It costs 10% more than it did a month ago. And it's half of what you asked for. And the dating is like they had it in the back of their warehouse sitting for 2 years ago. So it's just really different, the supply chain expectation of what we had pre-COVID.
So, Shay, I expect that's the same waking moment that you have?
You know what? Mine is just a little bit different because Michael deals with the warehouse and logistic aspect. But you know what? I would say just the opportunity to continue to serve as many moms and families as we can. As you know, because of the economy is changing, and we have over 8,000 migrants that have entered Chicago alone. We just continue to look for different ways to help serve those families and serve those moms and their children. So just the impact, making sure that as an agency and program, we can impact as many families as possible and provide them with food security.
Well said.
Catholic Charities is so fortunate to have you two in these key leadership positions to keep these WIC centers providing food and so many other services to families in need. We're so grateful for all you do and so grateful to have you on the show today. And please keep us posted how we can support the wonderful work that you do.
Yeah, Michael and Shay, thank you so much for reminding us about the many ways that our WIC centers continue to grow and serve communities throughout Chicago. Again, we're just piling on here. You guys do a phenomenal job to help clients make the most of this program and get connected to other Catholic Charities programs that might be helpful to them. You're strengthening individuals, communities, families throughout all of this work, so thank you so much.
And just for anyone who wants more information, please go to wicgrocery.org, wicgrocery.org, or call 312-655-7700 and ask about the WIC food program. Thank you again, Michael and Shay.
Thank you. You all have a wonderful day.
You as well. Thank you. We just also want to remind everybody that Catholic Charities continues our Mother's Day appeal for 2023. We'd be so grateful. The WIC Center is obviously something that supports our mothers and children, and we be so grateful for any support you would like to give to that. Please visit CatholicCharities.net to donate. And we invite all of you back again next week for another edition of The Voice of Charity. For now, this is Katie Breedeman with Phil Zepeda, and we thank you so much for tuning in and believing in the mission of Catholic Charities.